Hi, good day everyone. My name is Rhoda Walson and I'll be presenting on the disorganized attachment style along with my group member Latoya Pritchard. We're giving you this attachment style from the Guyanese classroom perspective. Today, let's dive in a topic that we see almost every day within our classroom, even though most of us never knew the name for it. Because when one child in the classroom randomly switch from hugging you to cursing or burst or an outburst or to hiding under the desk all in 20 minutes. This is not bad behavior. This is often disorganized attachment. So let's start simple. Disorganized attachment is like a child emotional GPS saying, I want comfort, but I'm terrified of the person who's supposed to comfort me. Therefore, it is fear based. Exactly. Children in this style have inconsistent pattern of dealing with stress. They may freeze, shut down, lash out, or behave unpredictably. Fun fact, this attachment style was discovered by Mary Main and Judith Salmon between 1986 and 1990. That confused behavior that we may see in our classroom every day is what we call the disorganized attachment, and it's very common among students who have a unstable home environment. How it is developed in the childhood. Now, how do children get here? Well, imagine someone who is supposed to be your safe space is also scary, unpredictable, or unavailable. This is child caregiver. Some sources or some causes is exposure to violence, frightened or unstable caregiving, neglect or abandonment, and even parents not being available for the child or their self. Children end up learning, I don't know what safe is or who safe is. By the time they reach adolescence, this is not a attachment, it becomes their coping style. Having irregular emotional system. Now, this is where we as teachers see it live and direct in our classroom. Children with a disorganized attachment style often struggle with low self esteem, trusting their peers that they know and love. They may be withdrawn and even have a poor conflict resolution behavior. Therefore, one minute they may want you to be your best friend, next minute they're convinced that the whole class hate them. This is not because they are rude or lazy. It is because their early experience has trained their brain constantly scan for danger. Therefore, you may find a student freezing up when a problem is close to being resolved. They may lash out, they can distrust their friends, and even have a chaotic nervous system. I will now pass this presentation over to my group member, Latoya Pashar.
Latoya, and today I will summarize how this organized attachment affects adolescent friendships and peer group socialization. We'll look at two real life scenarios and connect them to attachment theory. So we have scenario one. This is Amina, who is a 15-year-old, grew up in an unpredictable home where her mother was sometimes loving but other times emotionally distant or irritable. This inconsistent caregiving led to disorganized attachment style. As a result, Amina struggles in social situations. She may overreact emotionally, withdraw suddenly, or oscillate between pushing friends away and seeking intense closeness. Now, despite her desire for connections, her classmates perceive her as unpredictable, making her friendships unstable or shallow. Research shows that adolescents with disorganized attachment exhibit greater emotional and psychological dysregulation, which explains Aminia's difficulties. Scenario 2. Maya, who is another 15-year-old, experienced caregiving that altered between warmth and emotional withdrawal. This inconsistency created a disorganized attachment style, leading to hesitation in peer interactions. At school, Maya may avoid eye contact, withdraw from group activities, or misinterpret friendly gestures as intrusive. As a result, she experienced social isolation, few close friends, and lower peer acceptance. Research confirms that adolescents with insecure or disorganized attachment are more likely to be socially withdrawn and struggle with peer relationships. And this scenario is based on peer group socialization at school. The theoretical framework and its connection. So, the attachment theory is proposed by Bowley, 1969 to 1982, which explains these patterns. Early caregiver interaction shapes internal working models, mental frameworks, or self and others, which guide behaviors in relationships. In disorganized attachment, inconsistent caregiving creates conflicting expectations, closeness both desired and feared. This leads to emotional dysregulation, erratic social behavior, and difficulty managing stable friendships. Both Amina and Maya illustrate how early attachment experiences impact adolescent social development. In summary, disorganized attachment affects adolescents by making peer interaction. Thank you.